Please welcome Claire Delaunay from PharmNG.
Hello again. So my name is Claire. My name is Claire Delaunay. I'm CTO and co-founder at PharmNG. And I would love to get my slides working. Is there something to, oh, no. Here you go. Whew. Good. So I've been doing robotics for about actually 22 years. I started back in France, as you can tell by my accent. At the time, so I actually studied general computer science for big system and information system, and found it a little bit, something was missing. It was not for me. And so I'm actually self-taught in robotics. And at the time when I did the move and I started doing robotics back in France, and it was in late '98, people were looking at me and saying, "What are you doing with robots?" It was like, robots is not even a thing. It was like, why don't you do a real job in computer science like everybody else? I was like, I don't know, I don't feel it. And so, and fast forward 20 years after, it turns out I'm exactly at the place I needed to be to actually make something different in robotics. And so let me tell you why. So back in 2006, I joined in Tempora. We were doing, in France again, self-driving cars. It was before Google Robotics. Google actually started doing self-driving cars. So the idea was already there. The sensor and the AI and the amount of capital needed to develop the technology were not, at least not in Europe. Google really made it out of sheer force and massive investment. And by their massive investment and by really creating, and thanks to the DARPA, I mentioned that before again, but thanks to the DARPA also Grand Challenge, humanity started imagining what the future would be like with self-driving cars. And that's how it happened. Like, it was not a revolution in terms of algorithm, nor in terms of tensors. It was also massive investment and commitment from humanity to make it happen. And we are making it happen. We are getting closer and closer to self-driving cars. Not completely, but we're getting closer. So anyway, we will talk a little bit more about that after. Then I co-founded Botiful, which was a startup that I sold to Uber. That I sold to Google. That's how I ended up at Google. And then from Google, I led a robotics project over there and co-founded the self-driving truck startup, Auto, that I sold to Uber back in 2018. And then followed the path and then went to NVIDIA, where I was a VP of engineering and was leading the robotic department with Rev that was on stage just before. And so after all of this crazy experience in robotics and startups and amazing AI and amazing budget to build amazing new self-driving technology that's going to revolutionize stuff, or I don't know, I took a step back and was like, well, all of that is really good, but let's say that now that I've did all of that, let's say that I actually want, what would I really want to do? Let's say I have enough experience, enough passion to do something that really matters. What would I want to do? And it turned out that's agriculture. And everybody, again, I can tell you, in my surrounding, tell me, why are you in ag? It's like, it's dusty, it's mostly very industrial or very poor people. They don't have enough money to buy technology. That sounds like a very wrong idea. That's not how we are successful. Well, turns out that I believe that being successful is really what you believe is important to do, what footprint you want to let later on. And it can be build an empire, it can be, I don't know, running a country, it can be influence people, or it can be, for me, in my case, is just inspire people to do technology that is applied for the good, and in particular, agriculture. And I really believe that for me, agriculture is the foundation of our needs, right? Food is something that, I mean, you cannot survive a very long time without air, for sure, like a couple of minutes. Without water, probably a couple of days. Without food, a couple of weeks. But that's about it. If you don't have food, you actually cannot survive very long. So that's really a very, very basic need. And so coming from France, where there is an extremely important culture of food, and mixing this with the exceptional chance I had to arrive in America to fulfill my dream on technological dream on robotics, I was like, that's the perfect combination. So let's make it happen. And so, and the way we make it happen is, I'm going to explain it now. And it works. So meet the Amiga. Amiga is a micro tractor. So that's the smallest of our tractor. It works exactly as a tractor. It's compatible with traditional farm equipment. We're not replacing what was invented in terms of implements. We are just creating a tool that allows farmers to change the processes and to bring autonomy on processes and practices they had before. This is not the most sexy robot, and the reason being is that, as we just saw on the talk before, in order to bring affordable equipment, it needs to be simple and it needs to be standardized. So the most important thing that we did by building this robot is making sure that we use the less amount of parts possible, because we really want this technology to be affordable. And so we also pack it with all the software that you have on the most shiny tractors or the most shiny self-driving cars. I took my team with me from Auto and NVIDIA and brought back all these people who build like very complicated systems for industries like logistics or self-driving to bring them back to farming. And we believe that it's possible today, thanks to AI and thanks to the new sensor and hardware that exists today, it's possible to bring this technology to the market. But it has to be one of the core values of the company, to be cheap and affordable. And that's really needs to be baked in from the beginning of, from the inception of the company. Because the moment you start creating pricey equipment and do all the pricing on like high tech, then there's no way out. You can never get down from that. You can just add more technology and make it more expensive. What we do is different, is that we try to make it as small as possible in terms of hardware, but packed already with all the greatness software that exists. And our strategy is really to democratize the platform, build an ecosystem, work with also students and researchers to make sure that we have an open platform and make sure that we, as much as possible, seed the ecosystem with this platform. And our strategy is to grow incrementally to go to bigger application and bigger farm, but really starting on the base premises that the platform needs to be super cheap. So we have sold about 200 robots today. We have our customer base is, I would say, 1/3 education and research, 1/3 market farmer, so very small farmers, and 1/3 large commercial farmers. So what really inspired me in this company is realizing that the farming community is ready for tech if it's affordable. And they are crafty enough and they are technical enough to actually take care of machine and deploy this machine in an efficient way. They can fix it if it's actually documented and open. They can also attract younger generation back to farming, because painting the future where a farmer is actually a robot teacher is much more sexy than saying that if you are a farmer, you just have to use your hands and your back until you can actually not use them anymore because the work is too hard. So yeah, so it's an amazing experience, and so far, while it's again a crazy bet, like I started before, it seems that there is enough people today, enough people in the farming industry ready to roll out this technology and to collaborate and to create new practices like reinventing mass compost spreading for weed suppression, or do natural practices that are very labor intensive, like fighting diseases and pests by using beneficial insects and biological spraying, for instance. Turns out we have a lot of solutions today to fight the climate crisis that ag is facing right now, and really the labor shortage, we have a lot of solutions. The problem is that they are all extremely labor intensive to implement, again, today. And the only way out, like always, is automation. And so in order to be able to automate and to really create this change, though, we do need to like accelerate the development of these new practices, and that has to go with open platform like it works in other industry. Thank you very much.